Alright, we're checking out the only game that allows you to destroy the entire planet by forcing all living creatures to expel deadly gas. It's Universe Sandbox. I love that out of every place that I could have paused the game, it's the United States, but more importantly, it's of course Florida. The planet's atmosphere is made up of many different things, like argon or oxygen. However, there is a gas that living creatures can cause to come out of their body, which is methane. I wanted to find out exactly what different levels of methane would do to the planet and how many people or creatures it would take to do the bad things. Basically, I'm going to make people fart. Honestly, I don't like the word that much, so I think instead I'm just going to use, like, different synonyms that make no sense for the word. I'm gonna make people Taylor the Swift. Now, if we go over to the ability for human beings to survive on the Earth, you will notice that it's a nice temperate 92%. So the first question is, if every person on the entire planet tacoed the bell, would that do anything at all to the atmosphere? Now, in order to understand this in the best possible sense, we must open data views, which would show you things like elevation or liquid depth. But really what we're looking for is gas pressure. Well, actually, really what we're looking for is surface temperature. Hey, Google, what happens if there's a ton of methane in the atmosphere, like enough that it would destroy the planet? What would it do?
The planet-destroying level of methane in the atmosphere would cause catastrophic runaway global warming and mass extinction, although it is not a direct poison for breathing. A methane-driven disaster would first trigger a rapid and dramatic increase in Earth's temperature and then unleash cascading effects, which would lead to the collapse of civilization in most ecosystems.
Yeah! Science!
Wow, mass extinction. All right, sounds good. Well, I mean, sounds bad if you're a human, but it sounds fantastic if you're playing Universe Sandbox. But yeah, my plan is to add more and more produced methane, going into ridiculous numbers, until we find out exactly how many people it would take, or how many creatures, I should say, it would take to destroy the entire solar system with methane. Now, finding out how much methane a human expels in a year, if we had every single human on the entire planet doing it, comes out roughly to 0.013 kilograms. All right, so if we take the amount of methane and then we multiply it by 8 billion people, we get that in kilograms. So we go over to the atmosphere, we go over to methane, we turn that into kilograms, we put in a big number. And then we see if it does anything. All right, we'll just let the Earth spin here for a little bit. Not only does it not look like it's doing very much right now, it looks like the temperature is actually dropping, which could be because, well, I was gonna say because maybe we're going into winter, but we're really not. We're like going into summer. Just giving you the average temperature change versus time passage. There was a stark cliff right there. That's okay though. That's just 1 year of doing that. What happens if we double it? Go over here to methane and just give it the old ×2. Okay? Not really sure what that meant. Like how it leveled off for just a second and then it was like, nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, the temperature is plummeting. The temperature is rising. The temperature is rising back up like the Phoenix. That is fantastic. Yes. Arise my temperature. The temperature is falling again. The temperature is rising again. I have a feeling that the temperature has just kind of leveled out. How's the ice thickness doing? You can always tell when bad things are afoot when the ice starts melting. No, the ice is not melting. The ice is in fact growing as people continue to peanut butter the jelly. For whatever reason, the ice thickness just keeps, like, winning. How about the liquid depth? Is the liquid depth getting any? Nope, the liquid depth is getting deeper. So the ice is getting deeper. The liquid is getting deeper. Methane's fantastic. No joke, it does everything very, very well. You're gonna notice right here that it is forcing Florida to get rained on all the time, which is kind of new and exciting. I think it only rains in Florida for like 218 days out of the year. The only problem is when it does rain, it rains for like 72 hours straight. And it doesn't rain all at once. It rains enough to make it feel like God is just urinating on the public. Yeah, if we go over to the overall generalized temperature, you're gonna notice it does go up to about 25, 26 degrees Celsius. Not too bad. I mean, Will it go back down to the 20s or does it just kind of like stay here? Oh, it's definitely staying here. Okay. So with greenhouse gases, we have managed to increase the temperature of the planet like a good 7-8 degrees Celsius. Now, let me slow things down. I need to find out how hot it is in Florida right now. Where's the dirty Fahrenheit at? That's what I like to see. 76 degrees Fahrenheit in southern Florida. This is rookie numbers. That's all right though. We'll give it another double. So now this is like 4 years worth. All right, let's go ahead and move right along here. The ice is still getting thicker and the water is still getting deeper. The temperature on the planet is definitely going up though. The real question is, has anyone died from all of this, or does it just smell slightly obscure? I love that the Earth similarity has gone up 0.1% doing this. Well, what's funny is the Earth similarity went up, the life likelihood went down. Only by 1%. Now, what I have learned trying to do this and murder everyone is that human beings are like very untrained when it comes to the release of methane. We're honestly just terrible at it. How much more does a cow do compared to a person? Can you guess? Would you say 10 times? Would you say 100 times? It's 1,000 times. 1,000. All right, well, I guess we have to, I guess we have to grab the entire population of cows in the entire planet, of which there are apparently between 1 and 1.5 billion. You know how humans were 0.013 of a kilogram? Cows are 100. Not like like 100 kilograms per cow, per year. 100 kilograms times 1.5 billion cows. I just realized that there's 8 billion people and there's 1.5 billion cows. Like, the cows could legitimately put up quite a fight if they wanted to. And the number is a lot. 150 billion kilograms of methane. I want to start seeing the waters boil, game. Come on now. This comes out to about 1.5, 10 to the 11th. All right, temperature. How you feel about that? Okay, going up to... Can we get 30? Can I get 30 degrees Celsius? How is the liquid still getting deeper and the ice is still getting thicker? In case anyone's wondering, we only lost 0.2% of people. Obviously, what we're gonna have to do is take the number and double it. And so, whoop. Okay, that allowed us to breach 30 for just a second there. The atmospheric pressure is finally starting to go up as well. The ice thickness is still just fine. The people on the planet, less happy. Slightly less happy. For the first time I have ever seen in the history of Universe Sandbox, by the way, we've gotten 100% Earth similarity. Just thanks to non-stop dieting the Coke. Hold on, I've got to look at exactly how many people and cows it would take to make a proper effect. All right, to double the atmospheric methane on the planet, it takes 4.5 billion cows. That's actually a number that could be possible, considering there's already 1.5 billion. We're gonna start from there. I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna take this out of here. We're gonna go over to kilogram, and we're gonna actually do 4.5 billion cows worth. Okay, I've got good news. We're starting to see an effect here. Now, a couple of things have happened. The first thing is I had to increase the amount of cows by a lot. 4.5 billion was not enough. So we currently have 450 trillion cows worth.
Right, what does that mean, you might ask?
Well, the first thing it means is that the life likelihood literally goes from fantastic to absolutely almost nothing. I'm not kidding. There was no buildup. This just happened. Now, the reason for this is because if we look at the atmosphere, there is now a literal cloud of methane gas, just about, like from the greenhouse effect, that is just all over the planet. I had to pause it, or slow it down, I should say, because I get the feeling that as we go ahead and increase time, yeah, the amount of temperature now is really going to start picking up. Also, I have to say, finally, after all of that, the water depth is starting to go down, but the ice depth is continuing to kind of go up. Okay, now it's starting to fall. Go ahead and take off the atmosphere right here so we can take a look at exactly what's happening. Oh, that's weird. There's kind of like a depression in the side of the continent over here that looks like a vaguely smiling face. Why are you smiling? It's like
Gray, I have to smile to keep from crying.
right next to Japan. Now, things look a little bit different. Like, you know, the planet looks a lot less green. It's because it is. There's a few pockets where plant life can still live in Africa. That doesn't exist in most of the rest of the planet, which is probably why everyone instantaneously died. You want cloud cover? You gotta go over to Australia. They still have some plants as well. The poles are indeed melting. I decided to like surface lock us so we could literally watch as the ice crusts away on the poles. You can actually see it just continuing to vanish, while the liquid on the planet also continues to vanish. Basically, what we've done at this point is we've made Pangea, because if you notice, all the different continents are connected now. Like, you can just walk from Australia over to Asia, over to Africa. Look at this, just kind of go through here. This will bring you over to the United States. The United States doesn't look like much right now. There's Florida. There's some water on the United States. You're going to notice a lot of it is getting slurped up. The average temperature during the passing of time has moved up to 113 degrees Celsius. How hot is it in Florida, you might ask? It's right around 98 degrees Celsius or 200 degrees Fahrenheit. I love that the ice thickness amount is very, very small. Now, where there is water in the world, it like is getting deep. Never mind, it's not getting deeper anymore. Also, we just lost ice in the year 2412. I kind of wonder though, you know, we've killed everyone, but I wonder what happens if the numbers continue to go crazy. Like, what happens if I take the cows and just multiply them times 10 again? Like, obviously we've already murdered everyone, but we might as well continue here. Did the planet just expand? Like the entire planet? Yes, the mass of the planet actually just expanded, which is weird because that was the atmosphere that I was toying with. What does it look like if we have the atmosphere, you say? It looks like this. It's just kind of a sad marble of foul stench and people choking to death. There is still some cloud cover. You're going to notice it right here. The average temperature right now is 100 degrees Fahrenheit is the average. But in the hottest area, which is the entire middle of the planet, it is 261 degrees Fahrenheit. Times 10 more cows. I kind of what happens because the planet continues to get bigger and bigger. I kind of wonder what happens, like how many cows it would take to suck up the entirety of the solar system now. Oh, there's a little bit of water left. Hey! What's crazy is if you go down to the South Pole, the temperature down here gets down to negative 97.3 degrees Fahrenheit. We are now at 40 quadrillion cows. Where there is water, it's actually 4 kilometers deep. Also, the temperature has not only stabilized, it's gone down. 450 quadrillion cows. Okay, the temperature is going down a little bit more. Okay, 4.5 quintillion cows. Okay, temperature goes down even more. What's the planet look like? Still kind of blue and white. It's also almost double the size. We are now at 4.5 octillion cows. What's crazy is, generally, the temperature of the planet is colder than it is hot. Now, the problem is that there is very, very little liquid water left. And it's all here. It just keeps instantaneously freezing and melting over and over again. I love that the potential for life likelihood is now not a number, it is an equation. The time has come to go into the decillions of cows. And the reason why is because I want to see what it takes to eventually have enough cows that would force the moon to impact the Earth at this point. And with this amount of cows, it is distorting the moon's orbit. What's crazy is, with this many cows crashing the car, as it were, the temperature has dropped so extremely. It gets down to 341 degrees Fahrenheit on the planet. Florida is now a very crisp -93 degrees Fahrenheit. I have now increased it to 4.5 undecillion cows. And you will notice that in this moment, just now, we go ahead and slow this down. The moon has been turned into this. Let's go ahead and speed things up a little bit here. There's what is left of the moon. You'll notice it's just fragments at this point, and they're about to get shotgunned out into space. There they go. Oh, it's kind of a beautiful... Oh, it's actually a really cool particle cloud that goes around I Can't Breathe Now. But we haven't destroyed the entirety of the solar system yet, so I guess we have to keep going. So let's do the undecillion times 10, times 10 more, 10 more, 10 more, 10 more. Oh my God. Oh, this is a fantastic light show of awesomeness happening right now. On the plus side, if we bring up all the different signatures again, Earth is not freezing anymore, which is cool. Love how the elevation has gone up so high. Well, I guess technically the elevation does get higher when you have gigantic pockmarks all over the surface. That does look awesome. There's a couple of air... Whoa, it got up to 10,000 degrees Celsius. Yeah, rookie numbers. It's rookie numbers. We're gonna keep this going. So, I decided to do just 0.1 mass of the sun worth of methane on the planet. And it did, in fact, become a star. There is no surface temperature on it, which is awesome. It is vomiting out methane-induced solar flares, though, as you notice. Oh, that ain't good. I love how Mercury is like...
Ah, I smell something over here.
Alrighty, let's see what happens. You'll notice Mercury is starting to make a very hard right-hand turn. I think that Mercury is gonna die. I can go ahead and kind of like zoom into Mercury over here. Now there's I Can't Breathe. Let's go ahead and slow things down a little bit. All right. Well, maybe it'll go past. Maybe it won't go directly on it. Oh, okay. Now it's starting to vomit out particles. That is very sad. Now it is burning alive. Now it is continuing to vomit out particles. We are now into like the Novemdecillion amounts of cows, by the way, or something like that. But it is enough to start yanking on the sun. When these two suns meet up, one of which is just primarily methane, I imagine it's not going to be good for everyone else in the atmosphere. Now, obviously, this sun is much more sun-like, so it is starting to yank me. Oh, God, what just hit us? Was that Jupiter? I guess we can go into the vigintillion or whatever it's called, amount of cows at this point. Why not? More methane. Oh, my God. Oh, it is glowing, and the glowing is awesome. Hold on, I need to give you guys a look at the sweet rave party that's going on over here. Woo! That's awesome. All right, son. It's you and me now. Well, and Jupiter. Jupiter is getting in on this. You can see Jupiter is starting to make a very hard left-hand turn because it knows what time it is. It is time to bring the cows home. Actually, Jupiter might make it out of this alive. Yeah, Jupiter got shot off into the atmosphere. That's good. That's kind of a binary star system at this point. The two stars are just kind of like, you know, flip-flopping around one another, making the cool helix. Go ahead and increase. Okay. All right. Hold on. Increase again. Oh, yeah. It's happening. The toast has been buttered so significantly. Oh! Hi! Just shaving part of the sun off. Don't worry about it. The only problem is every time we shave a little part of the sun off. Oh, cool. It's going to get less and less mass, and so it's going to be easier to get yanked back in. Yeah, I think this is going to be a direct hit. We go ahead and slow things down. So a 4.5 with, I think, 64 zeros after it. Amount of cows doing their thing will eventually cause this. Oh, God. What is happening? Okay. All right. What is the temperature right now of the planet? It's going up fast. I'm going to go ahead and bring this over to Fahrenheit. The Fahrenheit number, it's a lot. Now, eventually I think these two suns are going to eat one another and stop giving everyone, like, oh God, the flickering. There it is. I had to just go until the flickering stopped because I didn't want to give everyone a seizure from it. But it did finally happen. We have now formed a methane black hole. And the gigantic supernova will go forth and grab everything and superheat it and melt it. You can see right here. Jupiter's still running, by the way. It is still trying to get away, but everything just got superheated. To give you an idea, this random thing over here is now 4,700 degrees Celsius. Even stuff that's far away is 1,500, and look how quickly it heats up. Wow, the explosion that happened when the two suns came together was so much larger than you initially think. And there it is. That is the entirety of the solar system getting absolutely obliterated, except for Jupiter, which has managed to somehow run away. Good for you. The one that got away. Well, turns out that enough flatulence could eventually kill everyone. It just takes a lot of cows. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed this episode of Universe Sandbox. Till next time, stay foxy, much love.